could get away with it. But not at a funeral like that. I think the other news this week was Jeffrey Owens. And if you guys don't know who Jeffrey Owens is, he played the husband of one of the kids on the Cosby Show. The oldest daughter. Remember Bill Cosby had the oldest daughter? Not Lisa Bonet, but the one above her, who was already out of the house when the show started. He played her husband. And somebody took a picture of him bagging groceries at a Trader Joe's in New Jersey. And they almost did it to shame him a little bit because, you know, he's an actor, but he's bagging groceries. And I guess if you're not in the entertainment business, I guess people don't realize just because you get in a couple movies or you get on a TV show, you're not set for life by any means. You know, I make way more money as a stand-up than I do being an actor or doing movies. And people probably think it's the opposite. You know, honestly, there's been a few movies I've done where I've lost money because I could have made more money on the road as a stand-up. But you have to take everything into consideration. To me, it's always, you know, for me, the comedy clubs aren't going anywhere. I can get them again. I don't know if I can get this movie again. I've passed on movies in the past because I was like, it's not gonna benefit me to the point where it's gonna boost my numbers on the road. And that's how I always gauge things. Like if I do this movie, will enough eyes see it and the right eyes see it that I can, one, get more work, or two, boost my fan base on the road? Or am I better off just doing stand-up? So there's probably been three movies in the past year that I've passed on. Just because, I mean, they weren't huge roles. And I was like, I don't think I'd get anything out of it. I'd rather be on the road doing stand-up than that. So with that being said, you got this guy, Jeffrey Owens, who, you know, he's done, I'm going to IMDb him, and I'm going to see what he's done the last few years. But people think because he's on Cosby, he should be, I guess, a multi-millionaire. And, I mean, Jamie Foxx said it best to me. He was like, entertainment business is the biggest temp job in the country. You know, you get through one movie, and then it's odd when you do a movie too, because your last day on set, whether you're there one day or you're there 100 days, they always say, you know, that's a wrap for Gary Owen, and everybody claps. The crew, the director, the other actors, and I'm always like, well, motherfuckers, I'm unemployed now. Why is everybody clapping at the last day of shooting? We should clap the first day of shooting. Like when you show up on set, everybody, Gary Owen's here, or everybody, Jamie Foxx is here, or everybody, Denzel Washington's here. The last day, you unemployed. Like it's the oddest thing. I just can't imagine I guess they look at it like retiring. Because if you work at a job for 30 years and you retire, then you probably get honored and everybody claps your last day. Where if you just stop working, if you only been, let's say you're, I don't know, you work at UPS for 2 years and then you tell everybody, hey, I'm gonna go a different career path. Nobody's gonna clap for you the last day at work. They're just gonna be like, all right. That's how I look at it as a movie. If you're on a TV show and the TV show's on for 5 or 6 years, yeah, you should clap the last day of that episode, of the last episode. But when you're on a movie set, it's just so, it was always so odd to me how we clap the last day, because then you're unemployed. Okay, this is just IMDb Jeffrey Owens. If you don't know what IMDb is, IMDb.com. It's the Internet Movie Database. And all you got to do is go to the website. You can type in any actor's name, any movie, and it just breaks down the entire cast of a movie. Or if you're an actor, it'll break down every film, every TV show, every appearance you've been in. And here's an interesting fact. So I'm looking at this right now. Jeffrey Owens gets somebody takes a picture of him bagging grocery at Trader Joe's. And he hasn't done any real groundbreaking roles since the Cosby Show. That's probably his biggest. That's probably what people know him for the most, even though he's done things other than that. If you go to IMDb right now, his name is top 5,000. That means that of all the actors through the history of acting, right now, currently, top 5,000. Because they rank the actors. You can go there and see where you rank. And he's in the top 5,000 right now. And I guarantee you that's because people are looking him up to see what he's been doing. And there's no shame in having a part-time job, a side job to make ends meet if you got a family or if you just got to put food on the table. Because what it's looking like to me, he's been consistently working since the Cosby Show. But it doesn't look like he's been a regular on a show. It looks like he's getting like guest stars. He'll get like one episode here, one episode there. Which is fine if you get on a show that is in syndication. Like if you just do one episode of a show, like I did what have I done? I did like one season on House of Pain. And I still get residual checks from House of Pain because, it's in syndication. It's still airing in different markets. Where, if I did one episode of Sparks or Homeboys in Outer Space, an old sitcom like that, then I wouldn't be getting no residual checks because they're not rerunning anywhere. So if you get on one of those shows as a guest star, then you got a check coming in every now and then. And it won't be a lot, not enough to live off of, but it's still money coming in. And that's why I'm always thankful that I'm a stand-up, because if I was just an actor and I was relying on residual checks to come in to pay my bills, I wouldn't have the life I have now. I guarantee you that. I mean, they never get old. The residual checks. I've had a residual check for 3 cents one time. It literally, they sent me a check and it said 0.03. It was a 3-cent check, and I can't remember what show it was, but I was dumbfounded. I was like, man, they spent more on the paper than they did on the check. I was almost mad that I had to open it up, because sometimes I'll get the House of Pain residual checks in the mail, and I'll open up the first one, and I'm just throwing let's say it's $28. There's $28 residual check. And I'm mad because now I got to open up 10 more checks, and I know what they're going to be. They're all going to be between like $20 and $40. And I'll just be to open them like, this is almost a hassle. I know it sounds spoiled because, after you get 10 checks, it's a couple $100, but still I'll be like, because I've got some big residual checks from like Think Like a Man 2, Little Man Ride Along. I had bigger roles, so I got some nice checks from them. When the movie, your big checks come when it first hits after it gets pulled from theaters, and then it's on cable, and now you can download it. Your checks get smaller as time goes by, but your first couple, they be pretty big. It's always like you're surprised when you open them. You're like, holy shit, and But it looks like this Jeffrey Owens, yeah, he just had guest spots on different TV shows. And I think the problem with this country especially is we don't put value on certain professions. We think a job is more important than how much money you make. And I'm always like, nah, every job's important. Just because somebody makes more money than you doesn't make that job any less important. I mean, work's work. We think, because if you're a ball player and you make millions on top of millions of dollars, then your job is more important than a janitor. A janitor job is still important. I mean, I have a lady comes clean my house. That's a very important job to me. I like coming home to a clean house, and she comes every other week. We don't need her every week, but she comes every other week, and she cleans our house, like deep cleans it. That's a valuable job. I put more value on her job than I would like a pro hockey player for my life, to make my life easier and my life better and my peace of mind. There's not an NHL hockey player I will put over more value than the lady that cleans my house. And NHL hockey players make way more money than the lady that cleans my house. But for my life, you gonna tell me, Gary, you want to hang out with Wayne Gretzky and be around Wayne Gretzky, or the lady that cleans your house? I'll take the lady that cleans my house, because her in my day-to-day life, her job holds more value to me than a hockey player. Now, I wouldn't say football, because football means a lot to me. So But hockey, I don't really watch hockey. So I guarantee you, Jeffrey Owens, because of the quote unquote shitstorm that's come from that picture. And I love how, especially Black Hollywood, I love how they've come to bat for Jeffrey, because they know, the grind. Everybody's been there, man. Everybody knows you go through ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster in this business. And I guarantee you, Jeffrey Owens gets some work, gets quite a bit of work out of everything that's happened since that picture started circulating of him bagging groceries at Trader Joe's. I probably would have been, I would never take a picture of somebody like trying to post it to shame somebody. But if I'm at Trader Joe's and I see Jeffrey Owens, I would have probably been the guy that leaves and calls somebody like, yo, I just saw the dude from the Cosby Show. Yo, he was working at Trader Joe's. But I wouldn't have did it like I'm better than him, I'm less than him. I'd have been like, oh, I just wouldn't expect him to see him working there. But I would never take a picture and try to shame somebody. Like I said, we don't, and I can't speak for Europe. I don't live in Europe. I can't speak for Asia, anything like that. All I know in this country, in America, I know we don't put value on certain professions because of how much money you bring in. That's how we value it. We always say, well, how much money you bring in or how much fame your job is. That's how valuable your profession is. I never look at it like that. Every job, anybody goes to work, there's value in that job. Because, I grew up with an unemployed stepdad. And that piece of shit holds no value because he didn't work. You got to work, man. So I ain't mad at Jeffrey. I hope he gets a lot of work out of this. I really do.